And now to the Trump presidency. There's a fever pitch surrounding the president's Supreme Court nominee. Now, the president says he will announce who it is on Monday, July 9th. And we're now getting a better idea of who the leading contenders are. CBS correspondent Errol Barnett reports.
President Trump arrived in New Jersey expecting to interview potential replacements for retiring Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy.
Look, I like them all. I think they're five, but I've got it down to about 5.
CBS News has learned there are 2 leading contenders: Brett Kavanaugh, a 53-year-old circuit judge in Washington, and 46-year-old Amy Coney Barrett, who the president recently appointed to the 7th Circuit in Chicago. Also up for consideration is Amul Thapar, a 49-year-old circuit court judge in Cincinnati who would be the first Indian American to serve on the Supreme Court. The president has been expressing excitement about nominating a 2nd Supreme Court justice.
Now, I've done a good job with judges. Judge Gorsuch, Supreme Court Justice Gorsuch.
Earlier in the week, Mr. Trump highlighted his vision to reshape the High Court for decades.
We have to pick one that's going to be there for 40 years, 45 years.
And reminded supporters his judicial nominees only survive if Republicans keep control of the Senate.
We will vote to confirm Justice Kennedy's successor this fall.
Republican Senate leader Mitch McConnell wants to make use of his party's razor-thin majority now because Democrats might win back control of the upper chamber after the midterm elections. Courting key votes, the president hosted 6 senators at the White House Thursday, including 3 vulnerable Democrats.
Are you ready to fight?
Yeah! This week, Democratic efforts to push off confirmation votes until next year were quickly rebuffed.
Ain't gonna happen.
Senator McConnell famously held up President Obama's Supreme Court pick, Merrick Garland, for 10 months back in 2016, citing the upcoming election. Democrats want him to do the same now.
Too close to an election. Let's let the people decide.
But McConnell rejected the comparison.
Nobody on either side has ever suggested before yesterday that the Senate should only process Supreme Court nominations in odd-numbered years.
Adding to the tension, both sides know this pick could change the balance of the court for a generation.
What's at stake is whether or not we will continue to recognize or not a woman's right to choose.
Now, Republicans can approve a nominee with a simple majority vote, but that's only if pro-abortion rights Republicans vote yes. Maine's Susan Collins and Alaska's Lisa Murkowski, both of whom were meeting with the president earlier this week, said they want a nominee who views Roe versus Wade as settled law. But President Trump said he feels it would be inappropriate to ask about views on Roe versus Wade of a nominee during the interview process. Errol Barnett, CBS News, Berkeley Heights, New Jersey.